Good evening, everyone. Thank you for listening to my little spiel here. It's the last one of the night. We're almost there. Some of us may have had or may have a day that we could undoubtedly call the day that changed my life. I have had that day, and it all started, or I owe it all to a little screw. About 10 years ago, I was at work I was just starting out in my current career as an electrician, and I was walking and carrying a handful of screws, and I dropped one of them. I bent over to pick up the screw, and I completely threw out my back. It was really bad. And obviously 26 years old, that's not good. The reason for that was because I was a very large, overweight individual. Now I realize that large and overweight are very subjective terms. So allow me to paint a picture for you. I am 5'4" tall. I'm 5'4" inches tall. And the average 5'4" man weighs between 130 and 150 pounds. Maybe even less, depending on their frame. I weighed 275 pounds. So I was about double of what I should have weighed. My waist in inches, the circumference was almost as much as I was tall. So I had some weight on me. But after throwing out my back at work, and due to my obesity and missing time at work and only 26 years of age again, I realized it was finally time to make some changes. So today I would like to discuss those changes with you and the impact that the results of those changes had on my life. Now by now you might be wondering a few things. How did I lose the weight? How did I keep it off? How much weight did I lose exactly, maybe? The easiest to answer out of those is how much weight exactly. It was 130 pounds in total was what I lost. The other two answers are obviously a bit more involved. I'll try to get through them as best I can. So how did I lose the weight? When I first decided to lose weight, I only did a couple of simple things. I tried to keep it as simple as possible. So I cut out sugary drinks, Mountain Dew, soda, tea, things like that. And fast food, no more McDonald's, no more Taco Bell, so on and so forth. As for exercise, all I started doing was as many jumping jacks as I could a couple days a week after work for 20 minutes, and that was it. And when I first started out, it was hard for me to do even 100 jumping jacks in a 20-minute time period. It was very tough. But I kept at it. The point was to get a sweat going. And I stuck with it, and after just 1 month, I dropped 28 pounds. For the next 2 months, I added in a bit more cardio, such as a light run, worked on my diet a bit more, such as cutting back on certain foods, the carbs, things like that. And of course, cutting back on the beer and the party. That's always a big one. At least it was anyway. And after 3 months, I lost 48 pounds, and I was feeling phenomenal. I continue to improve my diet by eating less carbs, healthier fats and proteins, drinking plenty of water, getting plenty of sleep, that's huge, and keeping alcohol consumption, again, just to special occasions. It certainly was not an every weekend thing anymore. And after about a year, I was eating in a very healthy manner, doing about 45 minutes of cardio a day, daily. I was doing the Sean T. Insanity program, if anyone here knows what that is. It's no joke. And I was seeing results. I was finally down to my high school weight after about a year of about 180 pounds. But at 180 pounds, I was still a little bit chubby at my height, and I wanted to get to the next level, so to speak. And to get there, I was searching for the next answers. I was at a plateau. And to get there, I found that the answer was weightlifting. At that point, I was only really doing cardio, watching what I ate, and it turns out weightlifting is much more important than cardio in terms of losing weight. If you're going to pick one or the other, obviously both would be optimal. But I started to weight train, and the weight just started melting off of me again. I mean, it was unbelievable to me. As soon as I started hitting the weights, within a few weeks, the weight was just coming off. It was great. So I stuck with this, the weight training, continued to improve my diet, eating better lifestyle habits, and after 2 years of this, working on it, I was down to 140 pounds. And for the first time in my life ever, I felt like I was in shape. And it felt great. So, but of course, there probably isn't much point to going through all this and trying to get yourself into shape if you're not planning on keeping it that way. So to keep any changes that you make in your body, for me to keep the changes that I made in my body, was I had to make the things that I did that got me there, my diet and exercise, my sleeping habits, all those things, they had to become more than just a chore. They had to become my routine. They had to become a part of who I was. And in order to make those things a lifestyle for myself, there's really no fancy way of putting it. I just had to keep doing it. I had to keep going to the gym. I had to keep eating right. I had to keep saying no to dessert and going out. If I went out for a couple of beers, having just a couple of beers, I had to keep doing those things. And then eventually it became where that was just what I did. Most of us get up and go to work every day, and we're not exactly enthused about it, but it's what you do. I got to a point where diet and exercise and my fitness goals were just what I did. They were part of my life. And then the next biggest factor in keeping the weight off was really simply just I wanted it. There was plenty of times that I faltered, I made mistakes, sometimes for weeks on end, but I wanted it so bad to keeping in shape and keeping the weight off and making that a lifestyle. I wanted it so bad. And I wanted it more than I wanted the morning donuts and the Chinese dinner and the partying every weekend and the going home and watching TV instead of going to the gym. I wanted it more than I wanted all of that. So if any of you are wondering that possibly if my experience could maybe help you, if you have any fitness goals or even possibly non-fitness related goals, then this is the best advice I could give you, which I was just speaking of, was you have to want it. And maybe it sounds kind of cheesy, but you have to really want it. It has to become a big priority in your life, whatever it is that you want to accomplish. And then if you want it that bad and you work for it and you get it, I can promise you that the results will be life-changing. For me, losing weight and getting into shape has had many positive impacts on my life, the most of which is just feeling better, just physically, just feeling better. For so many years I was anywhere from chubby to obese, and so how I felt for all those years was just what was normal to me. And so feeling crappy, for lack of a better word, was just how I felt normally, and I just thought this is how I feel. But after just even a couple of months of eating right and getting sleep and drinking a lot more water as opposed to sugary drinks and all that, I honestly started to feel like an Olympic athlete. It was amazing. You spring right out of bed in the morning and go to the gym with energy. You walk out of the gym with even more energy than you come in with. It's incredible. Getting into shape also skyrocketed my confidence. Now, I don't necessarily mean confidence as in maybe going and asking someone for their number, although there was that. But confidence in the definition of the word, one of the many definitions, and which I mean is a belief in one's own ability. So after losing the weight for the first time in my life, I had belief in my abilities. I had belief in an ability that I could do things and accomplish things. Taking my weight seriously also helped me to take many things in life seriously that I previously did not. Getting my finances in better order, saving more money. I started to keep my living area clean and organized. I was more attuned to staying on top of things too, such as just paying my bills on time, remembering people's birthdays, things like that. And I've also made important things in life more important. Such as calling my niece more often. She lives in Florida, and visiting my grandfather just to say hi instead of just on holidays, things like that. Success in my fitness goals has also led me to take on more challenges in life. Challenges such as becoming better every day at my current career, something that I did not take very seriously when I started. Learning new skills such as a musical instrument. And of course, returning to college to get my BSN. Also, after improving my physical status, I felt compelled to improve my mind and my spirit. I felt that maybe the body can only go so far before the other two start dragging it down. So that was a whole other process to improve those things. But as of right now, I'm reading 3 to 4 books a month, which I believe is helping improve my mind, to improve the spirit, the soul. I meditate regularly. And I also watch a lot of videos online, philosophy videos, psychology videos, a lot of TEDx talks. They're my favorites. And I can honestly say I watch more of that online than I do, reviews on Game of Thrones and things like that. Lastly, losing weight has just helped me to feel better about myself. I think even the strongest of us in here could use that from time to time, just feeling better about yourself. You know, it feels good to feel good. It sounds cheesy, but it's true. So in conclusion, I would just like to say that losing 130 pounds was one of the toughest and most rewarding things I've ever done in my life. There's no way I could have been successful in doing it without a huge focus on my diet, exercising regularly, and of course getting enough sleep. I started small, as I said, and then worked my way up to building better lifestyle habits. And keeping the weight off was also a challenge, but to do so, you have to turn those new good habits into your routine, into your lifestyle, if you really want to keep the lasting change. And then after losing the weight and keeping it off, after coming out on the other side of that battle, I can say that being in better shape is only the start of the benefits. It has helped me to reshape my mind, my spirit, and my life. Every day I'm so thankful that I made the choices to get me to where I am now. I'm thankful for dropping that screw. I'm thankful for the day that turned my life around. Perhaps any of you listening may have already had that day, or perhaps you will one day have that day, and perhaps you will never need that day. But if you do, I hope that when the time is right, you drop your screw. Thank you.